Right now at noon, multiple agencies search for suspected carjacker near Galena, Kansas.
And we are tracking some cold weather across the area, and we could still see some gusty winds. We'll break down your full forecast and details on a brief warm-up coming up.
And a once-in-a-decade cold snap plunges parts of Asia into a deep freeze.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
A suspect search in Galena, Kansas ends with an arrest in Missouri. This is KOAM News at noon. I'm Tanya Bach. Tapping our first 7 minutes. What started as a call for an attempted carjacking sends Galena schools into lockdown. Galena PD got a call around 6 a.m. about an attempted carjacking in the Galena High School parking lot. Now, officers later discovered the attempted car theft was actually at the Casey's on South Main Street. Authorities say the male suspect took off on foot, but he kept trying to find a getaway. Officer Corky Hicks says he attempted to steal at least 2 more vehicles while he was on the run. He says it was those attempted thefts that eventually led to his arrest near the Liberty Power Plant on the Missouri side of the state line.
Calls 2 separate cars that the same description the subject was trying to steal. With the assistance of the Cherokee County Sheriff's Office K-9, we were able to locate him. We've taken him into custody back in Jasper County.
Now, deputies took the suspect into custody at around 9:30 this morning. Well, high-speed chase in Cherokee County late yesterday afternoon ends with 2 in custody, and part of that chase is caught on our own camera. Now, surveillance cameras here at the TV station along Highway 69 show a pickup driving west on Lawton Road, then leaving the road and cutting through the grass. And the law was close behind. The truck circled behind the TV station and took out a fence close to our broadcast tower before getting back on the highway. Now, officers caught up with the truck a couple of miles away. Cherokee County Sheriff says 2 people were taken into custody. No word yet on the reason for that chase. Well, 2 women from Oklahoma are coming together to raise money for the older sister of Athena Brownfield, the 4-year-old girl who was allegedly murdered on Christmas Day. Amanda Weidman and Kelly Jensen organized an online raffle scheduled for January 30th, with all funds from the fundraiser going into Athena's sister's account. Weidman says the goal is to raise $5,000, and her hope is that a big corporation will help match that goal. Well, the cold is here, but hopefully we're going to be getting a warm up soon. Let's go to Chris Warner.
Yeah, we are unfortunately cloudier than we wanted to be today, which is a double-edged sword. One thing, it helps keep things a little bit warmer than what they could be, I guess, you know, but the other side is we're not seeing the sunshine that we really need to see. MoDOT camera at 20th and Range Line showing us traffic moving. Roads, thankfully, at this point are clear across the area, and we're pretty calm. Skywatch Storm Tracker is clear to match those roads. Nothing going on out there right now. Yesterday made it up to 36, which is why that snow didn't really last that long, starting at a low of 29, but you can see our average lows, and that's going to be an interesting trend over the next several days, are pretty close to normal. It's our highs that are struggling to get where they should be. And speaking of those highs, let's take a look. You can see warmer weather off to our southwest. We got 38 in Nevada, and as you track back across the 4 states, 28 Joplin, Nevada, 29 Fort Scott, 32 Chanute and Parsons, 29 Neosho, 30 in Miami. So we still are chilly up here. We're still going to make it up to a high of about 35 degrees for most of us today. It's not going to be very warm. Clouds will begin to break up later this evening and into the overnight hours. We'll be down to 31 by 8. There's going to be a reversal in temperatures as we head towards sunrise, and we also are tracking a system heading into this weekend, so now's the time to scan that QR code or go to your favorite app store, download the KOAM Skywatch weather app, keep us with you anywhere you go. We'll talk about the weekend system and this brief warm-up here in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Chris. In World Watch, a deadly cold snap is plunging Asia into a deep freeze, with harsh winter weather making conditions miserable for millions. CBS's Ian Lee reports.
Poverty makes life hard enough in Afghanistan, but one of the coldest winters ever is adding to the misery. Shazia says she lost 2 of her children to the cold in less than a week. Heat is a precious commodity as temperatures dip to -18. The brutal cold is blamed for more than 150 deaths. Across Asia, extreme winter weather is freezing cities and breaking records. One area in northern China hit 63 degrees below zero for the first time. Forget frying an egg. In that kind of cold, they freeze in seconds. But it isn't stopping tourists from taking in the sights. This man says it's really cold, but worth it seeing the scenery. Severe and slippery weather hit South Korea's capital too, while the storm stretched to neighboring Japan, dumping up to 3 feet of snow in some places, leaving a winter wonderland and treacherous roads. This woman says the blizzard was so bad at one point, I couldn't see anything in front of me. Japanese officials say several people died while trying to clear the heavy snow in what's being called a once-in-a-decade cold snap. Ian Lee, CBS News.
There's an unfolding humanitarian crisis off the coast of Florida as migrants from Cuba and Haiti take to the sea in a desperate effort to reach the U.S. Last weekend, the U.S. Coast Guard intercepted a vessel with nearly 400 people from Haiti. Officials say more than 4,000 migrants have made their way to the U.S. by boat since August. The Biden administration says those intercepted at sea will not be eligible for new legal pathways created for some asylum seekers. That's a look at today's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Up next on KOAM News at noon, former President Trump's social media accounts are restored after 2 years in Facebook jail. And later, we're making bacon cornbread in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. Former President Donald Trump can soon start posting again on his two largest social media accounts. Trump's Facebook and Instagram privileges were suspended after the January 6th assault on the Capitol. But parent company Meta says the accounts will be reinstated. Robert Costa looks at the decision to bring Trump back in spite of no apparent change in his online behavior.
Joe Biden is presiding over the most corrupt administration in American history.
Donald Trump hasn't shied away from social media, posting multiple times Wednesday to his own platform, Truth Social. But now his virtual audience could multiply. Meta has announced that Trump's Facebook and Instagram accounts will be restored, following a 2-year suspension in the wake of the deadly attack on the U.S. Capitol.
We love you. You're very special.
Wednesday, Nick Clegg, president of global affairs for Meta, said the former president would have to play by the rules, and there would be guardrails. But the social media company doesn't want to get in the way of open, public, and democratic debate.
We believe the American people should hear from, including on our apps and services, from those who want to lead them.
In another interview, Clegg was pressed on the risk of political violence caused by disinformation propagated by Trump, including election denial.
I'm not saying everything is perfect, no one is, but we're saying that if you compare it to the circumstances which led to his original suspension, we think the risk to public safety has materially and significantly receded.
But Trump hasn't demonstrated any significant changes in behavior since that ban, says Atlantic staff writer Charlie Warzel.
If you look at Donald Trump's conduct on his own platform, Truth Social, it is increasingly erratic. So to say that he's, learned any lessons, I think that that's wishful thinking.
The reinstatement comes just 2 months after Elon Musk lifted Trump's ban on Twitter, but the former president has yet to post anything new on that platform. And Trump is heading to South Carolina and New Hampshire this weekend, hoping to kickstart his Republican presidential campaign. Robert Costa, CBS News, Washington.
Well, still to come on the KOAM News at noon, Mr. Food.
I make this all the time in the summer.
Really? Mm-hmm. I like it with soup or dipping it in chili. It's amazing. Mm-hmm. I wonder how you would like it. What would you serve this?
First, we're going to take a look at a brief warm-up that's on the way before more wintry weather and cold temperatures move in right after this. Well, it's been cloudier than what we were hoping today, and it is cold today. Below average start to the day, and we are below average as we head into the afternoon. But we're going to beat the average for at least a couple of days. We'll talk about that here in a few moments. First, though, mostly cloudy skies, looking at 7th and Range Line. It's dreary, it's wintry-like out there. Taking a look at the MoDOT camera, looking live at 20th and Range Line. And while you can see the sky here, yeah, it's cloudy, it's dreary looking, but at least the roads are clear, right? That counts for something, doesn't it? We're sitting at 28 degrees. Mind you, our normal high for this time of year is in the lower to mid 40s. So we should be a lot closer than that than what we are. Feels like 21 with a west-southwest breeze at 7 miles an hour. See, the lighter shades off to our southwest is where it's a bit warmer, and they're just hogging all that warm air down there. So we're up to 38 in the Wadas, the warmest spot out there. The rest of us, though, and it's cold. We had 32 Chanute, Parsons, 31 Chitopa, 30 Miami, 29 Neosho, 27 Carthage and Lamar. So chilly, to say the least. Now, we're still on track for highs in the lower to possibly mid-30s. We'll hold on to cloudy skies, and as we head into the evening after sunset, the clouds will eventually begin to break up. Now, last night, that meant some problems because we lost some of that warmer air, and it got cold fast. However, that warm air that's off to the southwest is going to start making its way our way. We'll talk about that. We're looking at mostly clear to just plain old clear skies tonight. Temperatures, though, take a look. From between 7 and 11, they're relatively slow to drop. I forgot to change these words. We're not looking at any slick roads or stray flurries. I forgot to change those letters. But this is right. We drop back down to about 29 by 11. 29 is our expected early low. And then as the overnight progresses under these clear skies, temperatures slowly start to rise as we head towards sunrise in anticipation of a warm-up. Now, we've got some possibility of some gusty winds today up to 20. So we headed through the rest of the evening, though, that starts to die down. But ahead of this warm air, look at this southwesterly breeze coming in. It's also going to bring in wind gusts from 20 to upwards of 30 miles an hour as we head through tomorrow. And then after that, by the time we get into the evening Friday, those winds begin to die down as well. So tomorrow and even into the first part of Saturday, we're actually not too bad. In fact, temperatures warm up quite nicely. It's Saturday evening and afternoon that we are watching. So you can see a few stray afternoon showers, and we really see rain get going Saturday evening, but you can see temperatures are still warm. But look back to the north. There's the breeze shifting. We're right along that boundary. This is a weak boundary, but it is enough to bring temperatures down. And as they drop overnight Saturday into Sunday, we're going to see a transition to a light wintry mix, maybe even some light snow early Sunday before this system says, see you later. So let's take a look at what happens when it does. We're up to 49 tomorrow, breezy, but otherwise all right. 49 on... That is like the fourth time in the last 2 weeks now. I don't know what's going on. Something's out to get me. Maybe it's dust in here. I'm not sure. Something's out to get me. 49 tomorrow, and Saturday rather. Then we have the evening showers. Then we're down to 32 Sunday, down to 22 Saturday night. That's why this will transition into that wintry mix. Then after that, look at Sunday night, 16 for an overnight low. So below average and below average, above, way above, below, we're just kind of bouncing nowhere near the average point. We have another shot of a wintry mix Tuesday, the high of 39. From here, from Tuesday on out, our overnight lows are right about where they should be for this time of year. It's our daytime highs that are struggling to meet the average, which again is around the lower 40s for this time of year, and we're just having a hard time getting there. So possible chance of some wintry weather Tuesday into Wednesday morning, and then another possible chance of some wintry weather into Thursday as well. We'll keep an eye on both those systems. But in the short term, the system this weekend, we're looking at, that wintry mix, but we're not anticipating any significant accumulations other than maybe the possibility of some slick roads Saturday night into Sunday. So do take time getting where you're going Sunday, but otherwise we're not anticipating several inches of snow or anything like that at this time.
And I'm also looking at those lows Sunday night, Monday night. Those may be dangerous temperatures where you need to protect your pipes from freezing again. So.
Yeah, that's a distinct possibility because, they drop back down pretty darn cold out there. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that. But then after that, they do rebound back to about normal. It's just those daytime highs don't really want to do much warming for us.
There you go. All right. Thanks, Chris. Well, we take this time to honor today's four-state hero, Purple Heart recipient Larry Pyler in the U.S. Marines. The Joplin, Missouri native joined the 1st Battalion, 1st Marines, serving in South Vietnam from 1965 to 1968. In addition to the Purple Heart, Sergeant Pyler earned the Vietnam Service Medal, Campaign Medal, and Cross of Gallantry with both the Bronze Star and Palm. To Sergeant Larry Pyler, we thank you, our four-state hero. Well, it doesn't matter when you get a craving for cornbread because it's good any time of the year. And today, Howard shows us a fun bacon twist on the Southern favorite in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
It's really super moist, isn't it?
Yeah.
I was going to start off this segment by suggesting that today's recipe for bacon cornbread would be ideal for this time of year, since it goes well with a big bowl of chili or a hearty bowl of soup. Then I said to myself, this is also perfect in the summer with fried chicken or when it's toasted on the grill next to our burgers. Either way, let me show you how easy it is to make, and then you can decide for yourself when it's best to serve. First of all, you know it's going to be nice and moist since it starts with a good amount of sour cream mixed with milk, an egg, and melted butter. After that's combined, we stir in some yellow cornmeal, flour, sugar, bacon bits, and a few basics. After we give this a mix, we'll pour it into a pan and into the oven it goes. When it passes a toothpick test, it's done. Now it's ready to be slathered with butter, dunked in our chili, or warmed up on the grill. And since it's studded with bacon, you just might make this your new breadbasket staple. To get the recipe for our bacon cornbread, all you have to do is check out our website.
This is one of those recipes you hang on your fridge.
Since you'll be making it all the time. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a year-round kind of way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Sounds more like a super moist kind of way. You can find this recipe along with a lot more good food from the Mr. Food Test Kitchen online. Just go to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Here's a look at our four-state market prices.
All right, we are still looking at a high about 35 today, up to 49 tomorrow, a little windier. 49 Saturday, evening showers turn into a wintry mix. No big accumulations expected, but could lead to some slick spots. 32 Sunday, and another chance of wintry weather by next Tuesday.
All right, what do we have coming up tonight at 5?
Well, at 5, an FDA meeting is underway to update the agency's approach to COVID-19 vaccines. In Health Watch, a decision whether to replace the current series of shots followed by a booster with one annual COVID-19 vaccine. Plus, a one-stop event for anyone experiencing homelessness to find potential housing or jobs. And Freeman Health System receives a grant to train and retain skilled workers. Join us for those stories, a lot more, of course. It's all coming up today on KOAM News at 5.
Still cold outside?
It is cold outside. I'm sorry. It's not far out to the car in the parking lot.
Have to be quick.
Yes.
All right, thanks, Dal. Thank you for joining us for the KOAM News at noon. We'll see you right back here at 5 o'clock.